And now it's time once again for another episode of Wipe Those Tears. And here is your host, the star of Wipe Those Tears, Jason DeCanio. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to come away today, you know? Oh yeah. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another edition of Wipe Those Tears. This is episode number 21 on this Valentine's night, February 14th, 2024. And of course, I've got my Tier Masters ready to go with me. They are backstage. We're all excited because tonight we continue the final games of G and then head right into the H's. So it's going to be a fantastic transition. I know for a fact I want to get these guys ready to be introduced. I know you want to see them as well, too. Starting with the man from Canada, who is what they call obsessed with Mario and all the other great things of life, but he's also obsessed with his Switch as well, too. It's Mark Leota. Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? Good evening to you.
And a good evening to you too, Jason.
Ah, yes. Happy Valentine's Day. I know love is in the air, no matter if you've got a significant other or just, you know, you love your family, your friends. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a romantic partner myself, but hey, I've got the company of you guys, so.
That's right. And we're all here tonight for a fantastic look at some of the G's now, finishing up the G's. And, you know, I tell you, this is going to be interesting because we're kind of slowly getting close to the middle of the alphabet, which is like L, M, somewhere in that area. I think that would be. Yeah, because let's see, 26, half of 26 is what, about 13? So whatever letter L is, or whatever the 13th letter of the alphabet is about halfway, give or take.
Yeah, I think that's the M. That's the halfway letter.
The M. Okay, so we're not even halfway there. About a quarter of the way there, if we think about it. Not too bad. How's things in Canada? How's the weather?
It's been pretty cold today.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know you guys are not going to warm up until probably Easter or even May if you get some nice weather out there. But I hope you guys don't get any more blizzards. That's just, you know, snow is good, but a controlled snowstorm is better, though, right?
Well, there's about a month or so left until spring's officially supposed to start, so what could possibly go wrong?
That's true. Very much so. But we wish you the best of luck here because I know it's always going to be good. The man from Canada has always got fantastic critiques on games, and we wish you the best of luck here. Now, the next man up on the list of my greatest tier master, he is an AVGN expert. He is what I like to call the president of the band Fish, soon to be, and the man from New Jersey. Here is Gianni Pizzi. There he is.
Hello.
Oh, what's up? Soon to be the president of the band Fish.
That's right. I mean, if I was their VIP, I'd probably know the dates of the summer tour earlier, but I'm not sure officially of them yet.
Well, I tell you, you just know everything and anything from their history to their first concert to all the way up to what they're doing now. Probably what they're having for dinner right now, if that was
That's
the case.
Right.
Concert, you would know this. They should, you know, you should come out with a Trivial Pursuit, the Fish version. You know,
I think somebody has. I don't know.
The Fish edition, yeah, or the Monopoly edition of Fish.
I think there is somebody did make a Monopoly edition of that.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure if that is a thing, but might be.
Every time we see something new, it's either Trivial Pursuit or it's Monopoly that has to put their name on it. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
There's got how many versions of Monopoly, how many versions of Trivial Pursuit, and why not Fishopoly? You know. And the Trivial Pursuit, the Fish Band edition. I mean, that right there, they make some great endorsements if that was the case. You know? But other than that, are you doing all right?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Things in Jersey going well. The weather
it did kind of a snowstorm yesterday.
How many inches dropped?
Not too much. I'd say about 4.
Oh, okay,
So
controllable.
not too bad. Roads were fine.
I think David said he had a snow day yesterday too in Massachusetts.
We did. There was, yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the schools were closed too, so you guys couldn't get out there. But hey, it's always warm here in the Tiermaster shop. So we wish you the best of luck, Gianni. Now, the man from Florida, who knows what he's doing tonight? I don't think he's got little Jeff with him, but we're going to bring him up anyways. He's right above me as far as where he is location-wise. Here is Brandon Bogard. Yes. I don't like Valentine's Day, really.
Yep.
Touche. Hey, you can like what you like. You know, you're entitled to it. How's it going otherwise?
Well, aside, let me get rid of this.
Yeah, that's okay. You can keep it up if you want.
So, aside from that, for my birthday last Friday, I went to Hollywood Studios, Disney.
Yeah. And I noticed you guys played Color Wars and Jeopardy, and you were the host of the family.
That was the third, actually.
Yeah, but that was still, I bet you that was fun to get everybody involved. And I saw the scoring, and you hosted those shows. So it turned out to be a great weekend for you overall, huh?
Yeah, the shows that I did during my party on the 3rd, I'd like to do that as a panel at an anime convention soon.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one of my goals.
Be a game show you want to bring onto the network too, you know, here on the David 3000 network called Color Wars.
I don't know about that. Hello?
Well, we can work it.
Oh, there you go.
Whatever's mentionable can be manageable. You know what I mean?
Well,
Mr. Rogers.
It's actually something that Brandon Martin does. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Reveal the secret to it all there. Okay. Well, we'll work it out. We get you guys to co-host it or to kind of do the Brandon Martin Emu Hour. You know, you never know. Games galore, bringing them together. Just like Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. Heaven forbid if they can get it right first time, they'll get it right the second time. But other than that, you're doing well?
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. And of course, last but not least, the man from the Midwest. He's doing fantastic. We're going to bring him back here, of course. Here is the Happy Seppi himself, Scott McVay. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What is up? Yo. Happy Valentine's Day to you, brother.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day, everyone else. How y'all doing so far?
We're doing fantastic. The question is, where's Kitty tonight?
She's taking a little walk around the neighborhood, actually. So there you go.
She's on a mission tonight. Fantastic. Well, you're doing well too.
Yep.
Great. Well, we've got all the guys here, so good luck to you. Here we go with the explanation to the tiers. They know the rules, but I'm going to explain it all to everybody, first-time viewers. Here we go. Okay, guys. We're ready for another 2 hours of Wipe Those Tears. We're finishing up the G's tonight, and then we're going to mosey on into the H's. You ought to give a score between 50 and 100 for each of the Nintendo games that we see tonight. You will base it on cover art, playability, everything in the book. You will get a description of that game. And, of course, once you give us an answer and it's locked in, it cannot be changed. If you feel you need to pass or do something of that matter, you can pass your turn to the next person. You can always ask for other people for pretty much for advice. You know, we've got Gianni, who's the AVGN. He's on that, you know, for anything else. Scott's got a lot of advice. You all have pretty much, you know, you can all talk amongst it. But once you submit a score, you cannot change it. Okay? All right. Good luck to all of you. At the anime convention. I mean, I got you. All right. Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Good luck to all of you here. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start this thing up here. All right. Good luck to all of you. Okay, well, last time we left off was with the last of the G's. And our first game that we're going to be looking at tonight is... Looks like Guerrilla... Whoops. Looks like this one is called Guerrilla... Let's say it's Guerrilla War. Yeah, Guerrilla War. Okay. Put out by the company called SNK on December 26, 1988. I'll give you a little brief description about that. It's an overhead run-and-gun video game. Originally released in 1987 as a coin-operated arcade game, ported to the Amstrad CPC, Apple II, Commodore 64, the DOS, Nintendo, and the PlayStation and the ZX Spectrum. You are to follow the adventures of two unnamed rebel commandos. Along the way, the players vanquish hordes of enemy soldiers while attempting to rescue hostages. So this has got a lot of action to it. And we'll start in the order that you guys are in right now. So tonight it is Mark Leota that starts off this first game called Guerrilla War.
Yeah, okay. Not sure what I can say about this one because I have not heard of it. But run and gun, well, we know how tough those can be.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to say 65 on this one.
Oh, you're going to give it a buzzer first night. Okay. Okay. Now we go to Brandon Bogard. You're up with this one, Guerrilla War.
Or Guerrilla Roar.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Let's take a look at Gorilla Cinderella here. Or, well, I mean, or at least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, the war looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm afraid it looks a little more like SNES Zelda.
Ah.
So I'm going to give it a bit of a passing grade, 72.
A 72 for Brandon Bogard. Okay. All right, now we're up with Gianni Pizzi with Guerrilla War.
Okay, kind of like what I'm seeing from the cover art and the title screen. Something about the title screen with the camouflage lettering. That's kind of good. I mean, for the gameplay, it's kind of like an SNES Zelda game. And we see a lot of overhead video games, especially in the NES games. So nothing really, I guess, different about the gameplay than most other games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give this one... Still looks like, I guess, a game though. 72.
You're going to double it up. Okay, we got a double up there. And a 72 for you as well. Okay. All right, Scott, you're up with this one, Guerrilla War.
Okay, here I have the Wikipedia page. You're going to love this one. Apparently, in Japan, this game was called Guevara, based after Che Guevara, who was actually, believe it or not, one of the two characters in the game. According to the plot here that listed, it's supposed to be supposedly two unnamed rebel commandos who were in the Japanese version were Che Guevara and, believe it or not, Fidel Castro, supposedly going to liberate a Caribbean island from an unnamed tyrannical dictator. What really made the arcade version interesting was the fact that it had 8-way rotatable joysticks. So you can actually aim your character in different directions and move them in a different direction, but only using the one joystick and then some buttons there. Kind of interesting, kind of similar to how they did it with Ikari Warriors and that whole series as well. Cover art, it's not bad. It kind of looks like it would be one of those Rambo-like, movies and all that, where you're trying to have a liberation front. I'm going to give this actually a really decent grade. I'm going to give it a good 87.
An 87, a high B. Okay, very good for Scott McVeigh. Nicely done. Okay, I haven't played the game. I can tell you that first off the bat. I do like the cover art. It's got a lot of color to it. I love the green. There's some other colors in there that kind of just mix it up. And there's a lot going on in that box, in that canvas of it. I really think. Now, playability-wise, the way that Scott has described it, I think I'd probably like it if I saw it in the arcade. I don't know how popular it was when it was a coin arcade game. Did a lot of people play it? That's something of a question. I don't know. Scott, do you know if a lot of people played the game back in the day?
It was a somewhat one here, but then again, It was kind of like SNK was just trying to carbon copy Ikari Warriors at the first part. But what's surprising, again, looking at the wiki page,
Mhm.
Nintendo Ultimate Nintendo's Guide for NES Library gave it a 5-star rating, though. So that tells you it must have been a pretty good game in the first place.
Okay, I appreciate that information, Gianni. My question to you is: did James and the gang critique this on any of their episodes, or did they
I
play
don't think they have.
it? Okay,
I think he definitely could. I know Ikari Warriors. They definitely did.
yeah, he definitely. I remember he was talking about it. He said that's a hard ass game.
Yeah.
He was getting attacked left and right. He could not do anything to make that game any easier. And Ikari Warriors, I've had a bad taste in my mouth for that game. When we get to it, I was going to rate that game low myself. But I'm wondering, so yeah, it probably looks like the same kind of box cover art too from Ikari Warriors SNK. I bet you they make the same company.
It is the same company, yeah.
Okay. See, I knew. Like, remember we were talking about that last week with the lines with Contra, and how that with that company,
With
was-
Konami, exactly, yeah.
Konami, exactly. It's the same kind of cover art. I like this one too, so I'm going to give it a high grade as well. I'm going to give it an 84 and give it a mid B. Okay, we have our 5 scores. Good luck to you. Let's look at the average, and here we go.
I think I've got all.
Okay, remember this is by 5, so now it's gonna, instead of it being a B, it's gonna actually go into the C tier. Yeah, it goes into the C tier at 76 even. 380 divided by 5 is 76. Okay, our first C of the night.
I'd like to say when you got the Scott, God, I liked how he put out a nice thing. That comment.
I was trying to go, but I have it in the wrong direction.
No, that was a good one.
I'm telling you,
That was
he's got a very unique, different approach to these things here. That's the interesting thing about it. Very good, gentlemen. Nicely done. Your first C of the night. Let's look at the next one here. Okay, next up on the list is a game from, of course, the Black Box era, probably about 83, 84. It is called Gumshoe, put out by Nintendo, August 1986, a little bit later on in there. It is unreleased. Okay, it's a light gun shooter video game. A zapper there, Gianni.
Yeah.
Developed and published by Nintendo for the VS system, arcade hardware in the Nintendo. It was released in 86 in North America and 1988 in Europe. Unusual for a Nintendo game. It was not released in Japan and was designed by Yoshio Sakamoto. Mr. Stevenson is an ex-FBI agent turned detective. He receives a ransom note from a mafia boss, Kingdom, who has kidnapped Stevenson's daughter, Jennifer. Stevenson must collect 5 Black Panther diamonds within 24 hours in order to see his daughter again. Ooh, what an ultimatum. Okay, so on Gumshoe, we start with our next person. That would be Brandon Bogard on Gumshoe.
So I have 2 questions for this. Okay, so that's who Jennifer is, the daughter.
The daughter, yes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer
Lopez. Yeah, she'd be great in the game for an 8-bit system.
It's just the first name, Jennifer.
Yeah, she doesn't have a. I don't think she. Well, Stevenson is the.
Probably the last name.
Well, yeah.
Stevenson.
Jennifer. Well, Stevenson. Yeah, Mr. Stevenson. So Jennifer Stevenson is definitely the last name. Yes.
Well, I guess that answers my one question. The other question that I don't think will never be answered: what locations is this father traveling to even to save her?
I'm not sure. I don't think it said anything. Let's see. He's got 5 locations. Let's see. It does not say where he has to go. It's 4 levels though, but it doesn't specify where those levels are or if there's any names of the levels.
because I'm looking at the images in the back cover. It looks like he's traveling to some foreign kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's traveling underwater,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then he's traveling to probably some oil, whatever,
Yeah.
and then for whatever reason, that other image, he's traveling to a demon territory. So yeah, I'm not so sure. I'll still give this a 76.
A 76. Okay, very good. That gives it a middle C. Okay, now we go to Gianni with Gumshoe.
Okay, so it's one of the Zapper games. So AVGN, of course, we know it's mentioned the Zapper.
Yeah, oh yeah. And his
I don't
famous.
think I knew much about this game, even though it's one of the original black box games.
Mhm. Came out later though.
Yeah.
Usually, box games are usually 83, 84. This one came out in 86. So this could have been one of the last black box games, Gianni.
Yeah, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I haven't heard much of it.
Yeah.
I don't think AVGN has mentioned much of it either. I mean, looking at some of the graphics, kind of looks like kind of a mix of a lot of games. I'm seeing some like the little item boxes. I think from Mick Kids, I remember seeing those. I'm gonna give this one 85.
All right, the middle B. Okay, very good. Okay, Scott, you're up with Gumshoe.
Okay, you'll think this is hilarious, but just last week I saw on YouTube a long play of this game here. So I have a good idea what the game's all about. It's basically where you just basically use your gun to basically make this guy jump and everything like that. Try to collect balloons so you can get more bullets, and then try to destroy other things that are trying to get to him so he doesn't lose time. It's an interesting little type of game, though, but it's really gun heavy. You got to really have good aim just to even be able to control Stevenson very well here, as both his jumps and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a beautiful looking art. Shows the graphics just right, though, as well there too. I'm going to follow with my friends and also give it about 87, give or take.
87. Okay, didn't one up him, but 2 up on that one. Very good. Okay, Mark, Leota, Gumshoe.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is available on the NES online app for the Switch or not.
Probably not, because again, it's a gun game. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Looks. I know I had the Light Zapper, but not for that game because I didn't have a copy of that game.
No.
But it still looks pretty cool though. I'll give it an 88.
Oh no, an 88. You one up them on that one. There you go. You one up them. Okay, we got 88, 87, a 76, and who else? Let's see. I'm okay. Brandon started it off with a 76, correct?
Yes.
Yanni, you gave it an
5.
85. Okay, there's
And I doubled up on him, yeah.
But Mark gave you an 88, so we've got the 4 scores there. Okay, locked it in. Okay, I would looking at this game. I've never played it before, but I love the cover art. Very colorful. Of course, all the black box games have a lot of color action going in them. You know, they're true to what the gameplay is. Here's a question for you, Scott, and this is going to answer it in Bogart's question.
Yeah.
What on the levels? Where was he in those levels? Since you looked at a long play, did they give the names of where he had to go?
Not really. Not that I can remember off the top of my head, though. But similar to what Brandon was actually saying earlier here, like the island and the cave here, because actually you had to fight like a boss, like some monster. That's where you had to save up all your bullets for all that there as well too.
Island and cave.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't even remember bringing that up.
Well, maybe it was Gianni. I can't remember though. I was trying to.
You asked about if there were names to the areas that he was going to, and since
and I said there was like underwater, oil, something, and
that might have been
demon territory, and whatever foreign kingdom.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was trying to look it up in the description, and there was no real particular names. But Scott saw if you saw a long play version of it, that's just as good as playing the game itself. Now it's
Pretty
on
much, yeah.
with the way everybody's putting their games up on YouTube and showing the long play or just playing it outright or just giving you descriptions of it, just kind of in that case. So that answers that question. And I think that's a good one. Thank you guys for that. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at this game, I mean, I'm gonna have to go based on the cover art because I've never played it. So at this course in time, I'm going to give it an 80. It's a very good one, but I give it a B. So I'll put it an 80. And let's see what we got for our average here. Good luck.
I think I've got all.
Yeah, there were a lot of beat grades in this one, so this one's definitely going into the B tier. It's going to move up there, 83.2. Nicely done, gentlemen. Giving it a kind of a close to a middle B, but not an A. Very close to the A. So we got 1B, 1C, and we're getting, of course, now to the end of the first half hour here. Right, because we have those introductions and everything. It's coming up at the 9:30, so the second half hour we're going into. All right, let's move into it. We know we're going on. There's no anybody need a break? That's it.
Good.
I gotta get myself a water.
All right, we'll wait up for him.
Okay.
In the meantime, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the things. Today was I'll tell you on DMS, gentlemen. Today was National Chocolate Cream Filled Day. When you get those candies with the cream filled things in them.
Yeah.
What fitting way to get fat? I'm going on my diet and everything, and I have to be the one to break the news about National Chocolate Cream Filled Day. Makes me want to go out and buy a box of Russell Stovers or Whitman's or speaking of candy. So what's your favorite compared to those kind of box chocolates? What do you guys like? Russell Stovers, Whitman's?
They're all good there as well. Good. Funny thing is, Jason,
Russell Stover.
I was going to say here's something that's interesting. And approximately about 120 miles away from where I live, there's an actual Russell Stover's factory. And they actually have at the front of the factory a full store where you can buy the fresh made chocolates and even some of the Oops chocolates, so you can discount price though.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, so it's about 120 miles from where I live, so it's really good.
So you have access to the Russell Stover candy shop before it gets out.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. It's almost like straight from the factory style.
That's right. Well, speaking of like independent candy stores, we have a place called Peterbrook Chocolatier in Winter Park that sells a staple of theirs is chocolate covered popcorn.
Oh, that does sound good though.
They've got every kind of chocolate covered thing you could think of, from chocolate covered pretzels to chocolate covered Pringles to like chocolate covered potato chips. Sweet and salty meet each other. They even have one. Hey, Scott, here's a good one. Chocolate covered bacon.
Yeah, that does sound like something I would try, though. Yeah.
Sweet.
I think I've seen that before. It really sounds good.
Yeah, it's got a nice, distinct flavor. They have it in milk, dark, and sugar-free.
Good.
Oh, yeah. And they make them homemade. When you look in the window, you can actually see them dipping it in the chocolate.
Oh, there you go.
That's
now I'm starting to get hungry.
Yes. Okay, Brandon is back. Got a little bit of water there. Good. All right. We're all back and ready to go. Let's go to the next game on our list here on the second half hour of the show. Okay, this is kind of one of the games that I've actually seen played, and it's a fun game, too. It's called Gunac. Gunac by Pumpkin House and the Compile series. This is October 5th, 1990. And this is a game that I actually saw later on when the Nintendo was making a comeback here. This is a 1990 scrolling shooter video game developed by Compile for the NES. The game was released in Japan by Pumpkin House. And the player assumes the role of Commander Gunac, and throughout 8 different levels, fights a host of enemies from a spaceship The ship can be upgraded to a larger ship by acquiring a wing, which allows the player to sustain 2 enemy hits rather than 1, and allows the player to upgrade his weapons further than the standard ship would allow, and so on and so forth. And you should see the crazy bosses on this level, on this game. It's almost like Blaster Master for a minute there. So it's a very interesting side-scrolling shooter game, very competitive. And we start this time now with Gianni, who's going to talk to us about Gunnak.
Okay, haven't heard of this one.
Really?
I've not. No.
Okay.
Or actually, maybe I've heard the name, but not really too familiar. I guess another one of those light game, or actually no, but
No, this is not a Zapper-like game. This is a regular one you can use with your controller.
This is a shmup.
this is cool. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm looking at the cover art. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at the cover art of this. I have no idea why there's carrots.
Oh,
They look like
yes. Yes. There's a rabbit boss in the level, in one of the levels. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And
It's a
why isn't the rabbit boss in the cover art?
Yeah.
I'll explain that in a second.
Yeah, when you
Oh,
wait till Scott tells you about this one. But yeah, I can agree with it. Yes, there is a carrot in there because there is a boss that involves a big bunny rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see a picture of the bunny rabbit. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Robot bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give this one 72.
72. Okay, still a passing grade, about a low C. Okay, Scott, can't wait for your explanation of Gunnak.
Yeah, you're going to think this is hilarious. Now, while I never played the game itself, though, I am looking at a whole bunch of images right now on Google. And yes, I did find the Japanese cover. And yes, the bunny is on the cover of the Japanese title, though. Why they changed it for the American, I don't know. Probably give it look like, probably not as cutesy looking for some weird reason, but there you go. I'm also looking at a few other screenshots. I mean, it has some nice cut scenes here with anime style. And yes, there's even a giant rabbit trying to attack there. That's even funnier. One of the other pictures they're showing here is a picture of a boss. That's one of those money neko cats that you see in Japan also trying to attack our player as well, though.
Those waving cats with the little waving hands
Yeah,
remind me.
the little waving hand has the coin and all that. Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So this game looks pretty damn funny, damn impressive, though. Still has a little bit of hardness, difficulty for it, but it's also can be damn cute looking. So I'm going to still give this one. If I was going to go for the original Japanese cover, I'd give it a pretty much good score. But the way they changed this one and took away the rabbit, gave us these weird carrots, I'm going to have to give it only a 72.
Oh, you doubled it. Okay, that's fine. You gave it a 72 as well. Still a passing grade. Okay, now we go to Mark Leota with Gunnak.
Okay, Gunnak. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of those light zapper games, I think.
Nope, it's a shooting game.
Regular controller on this one there, Mark. No zapper gun. Nope.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I've heard of this one. Let's see. 70.
Okay, still a passing grade with a 70. Okay. Brandon Bogard, you're up with Gunnak.
Earth animals and space guns. Jesus Christ. I'm looking at one of the images on the back cover. Instead of seeing a bunny, I see either a bug and a freaking cat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm even reading some of this and it's when it says the most outrageous things are happening. Yeah. Shoot. Now I gotta pull it up. Hurry it up. I'm on a time limit. No, I'm not really. The most outrageous things are happening. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
From your lips to God's ears, yes. So bad he had to bleed himself out for that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you. To me, it's this bad. 53.
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
F. Oh boy. Good night.
Thank you.
Oh boy. All right. Well, now let me tell you something, gentlemen. I have played this game when I got a Nintendo later on, like maybe when the people were buying refurbished Nintendos, okay, and we were trying to reorganize our collections a little bit. My friend, one of my ex-friends, introduced me to this game. He says, "You got to play this game," and I'm like, "Okay." From that moment on, I fell in love with it. But I'll tell you what: the harder you put the level, the harder the game. So I always put it on an easier level to play it because the harder you play it, the higher the level, the harder the characters are to die. Seriously.
True.
And by the way, one of them looks like the character has a pair of boobs and a belly button. I think the tree. It's a tree character that looks like he's got a pair of boobs and a belly button. I swear to God. Seriously. And his arms and his legs are going. I swear. I looked at that thing and I was like, how'd they get away with two boobs and a belly button on a tree trunk? That is what it
I don't
looks
know what you're looking at. I'm
looking at
something wrong.
that's how long it was. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Yep. That is my interpretation of it. I even did an artistic drawing of it one time because I thought it stuck in my head for that long. We got here. Oh, Game Relics images. Let me see. And now we got to pull it up here. And well, I mean, the cat's there. Yeah. But okay, if you don't see that one, play the game. If you would have to see it in like a long play game, like what Scott was telling us about. Overall, the game is great, guys. Cover art is fantastic. Sorry, but I'll tell you what, I am. What am I apologizing for? I'm the freaking host of this show. It's 100 all the way. That's the way I look at it. Because I have played the game, I love it. Graphics are fantastic for the 8-bit system. I mean, we're getting, like I said, playability wise, like I said, you go up higher, it's going to be more difficult. So play it on a low level, play it on that easy level so you can get through it, see the feel of the game. And if you feel then you can go and challenge it, then go for it. There you go. We got our 5 scores. Let's go ahead and average them out.
I think I've got all.
Well, this one is actually going to go into the C tiers. It's actually 73.4. It barely passed because of that low grade from Brandon Bogard, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Mm-hmm. That's the way it goes. 73.4 goes into the C tier, so that's 2 C's. All right, and a B so far for 3 games. Hey, you take your chances on it, That's the way it goes. All right, let's look at the next game here on the list. And I think this one is called, I don't know. What is this? Gunsmoke. Yes. Thank you very much. It's a different cover than the one I see on the NES there. All right. So this time, of course, now we're starting with it's the 4th one here. So we go with Scott McVeigh.
Yeah, this is an early Capcom release on the NES here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't give you the info. Can I stop you there for 1 second?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's released in 19. Okay, sorry about that. I usually do that. Compile and no, Capcom, like you said, right? February 1988. And where am I going here? Okay, it's vertically scrolling run and gun video game designed by Yoshiki Okamoto and released in the arcades in '85. Gunsmoke centers on a character named Billy Bob, a bounty hunter going after the criminals of the Wild Wild West. Okay, Scott, now go ahead. You can restart your critique. Go ahead.
Well, like I was telling here, again, this is one of the earlier Capcom titles that came out here. As you can tell, it has the classic grid design. You'll definitely see this on Mega Man 1 later when we get to that in several weeks here. You can tell. Now, this was actually not a bad looking arcade game, but when it came to the NES, I think it became a lot more difficult for the one reason. The arcade had 3 buttons, so you can have one forward, one to the left, and one to the right. Here on the NES version, if you want to go shoot forward, you had to hit both buttons at the same time, though, which makes it a much more difficult version than the arcade game. But the arcade was also not an easy game to begin with either, especially as an automatic scroller. This version's not too bad. You know, it's still not as graphically cool as the arcade version is, but I kind of like it, even though it's got a simple little drawing of a cowboy on the front there as well. I am going to give this one right at the bottom of the B's, 80.
I'm going to give it a low B, okay, but still a good one. 80. Okay. We go back to Mark Leota with Gunsmoke.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of this one.
Okay.
Or actually, I might have, but I've probably never played it. All right. I wonder if it's any good.
Well, I mean, you can ask Scott and, of course, Gianni and Brandon. Well,
Oh, no, don't go to me. I don't.
you have the freedom to go to any of the tier master if you want, Mark, to get a critique. Like Scott's critique was pretty good. I mean, but overall, Scott, what do you think? The playability of the game. What do you think? Was it easy, hard?
Yeah, it's kind of medium to hard, I think, in my opinion, because when you had to shoot, it was a preset angle from when you shoot left and you shoot right. So that means you had to really aim your character right without trying to get hit by any of the enemies or enemy bullets, though. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I wonder if that answers your question, Mark. Then.
All right. Well, that sums that up nicely. 81.
80. Oh, you went up there. Oh, God. He went up the very man. He basically. I love you guys so much. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. That's the gift of giving is to also one up the person. Okay, Brandon Bogart. Now you're shaking your head like, no, I don't want this. Your turn, Maestro.
Oh my God.
Don't ever what?
Those kisses don't even, please.
Oh no, I was reverting to Scott and Mark for those ones there. If you know what?
Okay, well, as long as it's just them.
That's
my God.
Yeah.
So the front Gunsmoke.
Mm-hmm.
So the front cover looks good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay images don't really seem to have the right locations. I mean, I guess it's like traveling to different places. But it's not too enough for a buzz. I'm going to give it 74.
A 74. Okay. All right. About a low C. Okay, Johnny, you're up with Gunsmoke.
Okay, so yeah, another Capcom game. I feel like I've heard of this game before.
Yeah.
Not too familiar with it. I kind of like the cover art with Pink Sunset. AVGN, I don't think he's played this game.
Like he had said anything about it. Maybe, I don't know if they played it on a mic Monday, you know.
Maybe, but I feel like I've heard about this somewhere. Don't know too much about it. 82.
82. Okay. You won up those, both of them. We had an 81, we had an 80, and then, 82. There you go. Nice. All right. Now, for me, well, let's see. Gunsmoke. Never heard of the game. I've heard of, the show, Gunsmoke. And I've heard, I don't understand why they have to name a character Billy Bob. Why does every character have to be Billy Bob in life, But how many Billy Bobs do you know in the world, right? The true Billy Bob.
You've heard the name a lot.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's real or fictitious or whatnot, Billy Bob.
I don't think there's that many people named Billy Bob in the real world.
And if there is, we apologize profusely for the fact that you should get royalties to the name because Billy Bob is, if it's a real name out there, if you parents out there want to name your kid Billy Bob, go right ahead. You'll make $1 million just off the royalties. I guarantee
Tell
it.
you what, since we're focused on the game, I'll wait for your grade, and then I'll give 2 facts about Gunsmoke and Billy Bob.
Okay. Well, cover art wise, it looks very plain to me. This one that I'm seeing here on the tier board. If you guys got a different one that I did not see, which I think Brandon, you were going to show me that one.
Yeah, look in the chat there. He showed an image. It's just more. It's a closer up, and you even see the back cover.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it's almost the same one as the front. There. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like somebody took a crayon or a colored pencil and just decided to draw it in first and then sketch it with pencil and then kind of fill it in like color by numbers.
Yeah, very similar and basic.
Yeah, so the cover art doesn't impress me much. So I'm gonna say 59. Oh boy, I'm gonna buzz it actually. Yep. Yep. All right, Brandon. Before we average out, you said you had some other information for us.
As far as I heard, and they didn't show it, but Billy Bob did try to audition to replace Steve Burns as the new host of Blue's Clues.
Oh
my
no.
God. Oh,
Really?
okay.
At least they didn't show it like they did Gilbert Gottfried, John O'Hurley, Phyllis Diller.
Yeah.
But the second thing, this before The Simpsons originally had the most episodes out of any sitcom.
Well, Western actually in this case.
I mean, yeah, true. Gunsmoke. There it is. Number of Gunsmoke episodes, 635.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And The Simpsons beat that. It's now at 760.
There's 760 Simpsons episodes over the course of almost 35 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And the kids never grow up.
Nope.
Just to let you know. Okay. I appreciate that bit of info there. We thank you for it, Brandon. Appreciate it. All right, we've got our 5 scores. We're ready to divide it by 5, and here we go.
I think I've got all.
Now this one's going in the C tier, 75.2. It with my failing grade there, and I think the other low grade that was given there. I think that's why it dropped a little bit. All right, we've got 3 C's and a B. All right, we're on to the next now on the top of the list again here. So let's look at another black box game. Oh boy, yeah. Rob the Robot is involved in this one in Gyromite. Rob the Robot. Gyromite or Dynamite or Gyromite. Yes. Gyromite put out by Nintendo August 13th, 1985. And now this one talks about the gyro. Okay, yeah. The only 2 officially licensed games were published for Rob, which comprised Nintendo's Robot series, were Gyromite and Stack Up. Computer Entertainer reported Nintendo's supposed plans as stated prior to CES June of '85 for 4 more nondescript Robot series games, but they were never released. The Gyromite retail package consists of the following items: 2 claws for Rob stands, 2 heavy spinning tops called gyros, 2 red and blue trays upon which the gyros will rest, causing buttons to be pressed on the second NES controller, 1 spinner motor for accelerating the gyros, and 2 black trays upon which the gyros are stored when not in use on a sesame seed bun. Red game mode is a feature used to learn how to use Rob and it's a puzzle platform game in which the main character, Professor Hector, must collect dynamite before the time runs out. Okay, now that I have spilled the beans on Gyromite, we go back to Mark Leota for the top of the list here. Top of the lineup. You're up.
Okay. All right, Gyromite. Definitely seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't think I have the cartridge for this one, and I don't know if it's on the NES app for the Switch.
Wow, and
Oh,
also
wow.
the robot to play it, so
So it wouldn't be on the NES app. Okay.
probably not. Not considering it was not made only for the Rob series. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I will go 88.
88?
88.
88. All right, very good there. High B, and now we go to Brandon Bogard with Gyromite.
Dynamite.
Give me 1
So
second.
I'm looking at these covers. Our main, where'd he go? Oh, our main character on the front cover. He looks like the original Peter Griffin, otherwise known as Larry. The game is a bit more detailed than even the original Super Mario Brothers, which we might get to later. Except it's a little too dark. And I am questioning that spiky green bird on the front cover.
Yeah.
But doesn't look too bad. I'm giving it 80.
80. Okay, very good there. We got another B for that one. Okay, Gianni, now remember AVGN talked about Rob the Robot.
That's right, he did in Gyromite and Stack Up.
Backed up, and he wanted to play something else and wrote what was
Yeah,
Rob's-
and then Rob became evil and turned every game into Gyromite or Stack Up.
never or does not compute.
Yeah.
I remember
But-
seeing that. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I think I've never played this. I mean, I've never had a Rob the Robot. Although I think it does work without the Rob the Robot. You just need a second player.
Right. Yeah, this was for the person who basically wasn't able to get a second player and had
Yeah.
a robot, bribed their parents. How much that Rod the Robot probably cost about $200, like a miracle piano, you know?
Yeah. And I think AVGN, he tried to play, I think it was the TV, but like he couldn't really get Rob to work and he was so slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he made fun of him. He was like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
like pick up the gyros or whatever.
Yeah.
It was so. I mean, the game is kind of. I mean, it's kind of something that you need a second player. It's kind of annoying if you don't have him one by yourself. Rob, I guess on like the newer TVs don't, I guess, work well. But I'm gonna give this. I don't want to buzz it, but I think I kind of have to. 66.
66, and he buzzes it. Yeah, that's fortunate, but hey, if you got to buzz it, Gianni, don't hold back, you know?
That's right. I mean, it's a game maybe Jen reviewed, so
Yeah, that's
might as
very
well.
true. All right, Scott, you're up with Gyromite.
Yeah.
We
This is
have-
the only version of Rob I ever owned, this little
Oh,
amiibo
my
here.
God.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, the
Ah,
flag here and all that there as well. There. This is.
Do
in
you ever have the real-
color.
did you
I
ever?
don't have the real one, unfortunately. This is the closest thing I can get was this little amiibo for when he came out for Smash Bros. And all that there.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
one of the characters he actually in the Smash Brothers game, which is actually not bad. Anyway, what's kind of funny about this game here is, again, you can still play this game, but you just need two controllers. Just have someone control the professor, the other one does the A and B buttons on the other controller for the things here.
Mhm.
Very cute. Oh, here's a little fun thing. In fact, did you know that it actually was using a Japanese ROM inside the NES cartridge? It used actually an adapter so that if you dismantle the Gyromite cartridge and you take out this adapter, you can now play Famicom games on your NES that way.
What will they think of next with these secret little tips, man? There
Yeah,
you go.
pretty kind of neat itself, though.
Yep.
Cover art, pretty simplistic, but it does show the good graphics.
Mhm.
And of course, let me see here. See, what do you think, Rob? Really? Okay, Rob likes this. Rob thought it was kind of cool. He says, this was my game, boss. Can I give it a 90? I'll give it a 90.
A 90. Oh, the first 8 tonight. There you go. 90. Okay. Very good there. I like your little explanation with your show and tell, you know.
Yeah. Rob saying thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Good night, Rob.
That's me, and now Robbie the robot.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
Well, we put it to you this way, guys. I have seen the Rob the Robot episode. I even saw when James said how long it took to make the Rob the Robot series.
Oh yeah, he did do a making of. Yeah.
He said that was the longest project ever. I think it took over like 10,000 hours or something. He had it down to where it was editing and pre-editing and all the special effects. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one
8.5 hours.
took a while. I mean, for his 100th episode, that was
Yeah.
I remember it could have taken a long time. I mean, it was just the gameplay. It was him fighting Rob and all that.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you had all those special effects and the fact that they basically Rob was basically trying to take over the world and of all that other stuff. So that was a fantastic episode, and the gameplay looks very simplified. It almost looks like what's the game I'm trying to think of? Wrecking Crew. Almost looks like a
Oh
Wrecking,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it's a black box art, so it is simplified. 1985. Right around that era, we could say it's a 3-year span for the black box art covers. Considering, I would think that would be fair enough of a judgment on it.
Mhm.
Art wise, it looks really good, so I'm going to say 87. All right, one less than the 88 that was there. So Mark one-ups me on that one. He one-ups me on it. All right, we've got our scores. Let's take a look at the average.
I think I've got all.
Well, this one's going in the B tier, gentlemen. It's actually going to take its ride up to the B tier. Whoops.
Rob's happy. Rob's happy. Rob's happy. Yay! Look at
Yeah.
him.
It's going up there. 82.2 is the
Okay.
average of that.
Go home.
He's not quite an A, but he does go into the B tier, and nicely done. That was pretty good. Okay, we're getting now end of the second half hour of the program here. Anybody need to take a break?
I'm still good.
Good.
Good now.
Okay, very good. We will continue on then. We're very close to the end of the G's here. I could tell. I could not make out the game. Well, Gyrus is the next one here, so this one's going up here, and we'll definitely get the.
Actually, that is the last the G one.
Yeah.
Oh.
we're at the well, this is the final G.
The final G, yay!
Bronze 8.
Gyrus is what we're looking at here, and let me tell you about Gyrus. Yep, put out by Konami again. Another Konami game. Ultra Games, February 1989. It was unreleased actually. Gyrus, and let's see, designed by Yoshiki Okamoto, and was initially licensed to Centauri in the United States for dedicated machines before Konami released their own self-distributed conversion kits for the game. Parker Brothers released contemporary ports for the home system, and an enhanced version for the family computer disk system was released in 88, which was released to the North American Nintendo Entertainment System in early 1989. The gameplay is similar to that of Galaga,
Galaga. Yeah.
in a tube shooter format, with the player's ship facing into the screen and able to move around the perimeter of an implicit circle. Stars come into view at the center of the screen and fly outward, giving the impression of the player's ship moving through space. It's the second and last game Yoshiki Okamoto designed for Konami after Time Pilot. All right. With all of that information, we now go to Brandon Bogard for Gyrus.
Gyrus. Oops. So, gameplay looks very interesting. Front cover looks amazing. And the story, it sounds so original. Like, wow. I'm going to give this a 95.
A 95. Okay. An A for him. Nicely done. Okay, we go to Gianni Pizzi with Gyrus.
Gyrus. Okay. Haven't heard of this one. Let me see if I can find an image of it. There we go. Okay. Kind of. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of do like that cover art.
Uh-huh. And there's a different one than that's on the tier board than on the wiki. Yeah. Remember, it was launched on different platforms, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was looking at that, but yeah, I mean, I kind of like that they came up with that idea of this, and I think Brandon said it was kind of a different and original storyline at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like. I'll give it 100.
100. Look at this guy. He's got it up. Perfecto there. Look at it. Okay. I must say, 2 A's right now. This game looks like it's going to be your first A tonight. If this keeps up here, we now go to Scott McVeigh with.
I love this arcade game here. This is one of those I would play quite often, and it is just beautiful. Now, one thing that really attracted me to this game was the music, and it is actually an up-tempo version of Johann Sebastian Bach from Toccata and Fugue in D minor, and it is very beautiful. It's got a good stereo sound back then, which was hard to find in earlier arcade games as well, way too. And I will just say this is really fun. It kind of looks like a cross between your Galaga, maybe even a hint of Tempest, because you're basically in a circle pattern here, kind of like how you were in Tempest also along that as well.
Yeah, too. Tempest was another great one of those side scrollers.
It is. This was a great reason for Konami to release a game under their Ultra label, and I really liked it. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous on this here. It just screams awesomeness. I'm going to agree with Gianni and give it 100.
Double it up. There it is. You got it. Nicely done. Okay, another 100 there. So that's 200s. Okay, and finally, Mark Leota, you are up with Gyrus. 195 and 200s. There we go. Will it be a third one?
Well, let's take a look here. I only see some sort of shooting mechanism there. Definitely looks pretty interesting. You said you had 200s for that, right?
I have 200s and a 95. What would you like to add to this?
Well, you had 200s because it's now free.
Aha!
Woo!
Double it up there, and another one. We got it now. Oh no, we got the. There you go. 300s and a 95 so far out of 4 people. Nicely done. And now we go to me. Well, let's see. I haven't played the game, but based on the way Scott's given the critique of it and the fabulous music, we would have to get a copy of that music to listen to it one of these days. Maybe I'll find it on the sound effects, with all the other stuff and play it for all of you next week. So, But with Gyrus, I mean, I love the graphic art and I love Galaga. So if this is a knockoff of Galaga and of course Tempest and all those games of the coin operated era, yeah, I definitely would like Gyrus. Love the cover art. Konami, you can't go wrong with it. Like you said, from Now, let's hit Scott with what's the difference between their Ultra series and
Ultras were basically a way so Konami can get more games out per year.
Okay, so they just added one more little name to it's like
Yeah.
Konami Ultra. I got you.
Yeah, because it was almost a little thing that I found out. Nintendo was very strict on how many games a company can bring out in a calendar year. So
Yeah.
Konami and a few other companies like that came up with the idea and said, "Oh, we're just going to use a different company name and all that there, so we can bring out more games."
There you go. Hey, one of those things of all, like you say, 100. That's 400 and a 95 and a partridge in a pear tree. I think we know what we're going to get this one.
Yeah, we know.
Let's look at the average anyway. Divided by 5. Wow.
I think I've got all.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, you were one fry short of a Happy Meal. 99. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. All the way up. Here we go, guys. It's climbing. It's climbing. It's climbing its way to the A tier. And there it is, your first A of the night.
I'm so happy.
Like we said, one fry short of a Happy Meal. Oh, my gosh. 99, guys. Can't get any better than that. Fantastic. Your first A of the night. And that now brings us into the H's. So you ended the G's on a high note there. Very good. Okay. We're up with the next.
Through the H's.
Yes. Well, this next game is called Hammer and Henry.
Harry.
Hammer and Harry, actually. Yes. This one's put out by the Tamtex company, the IREM company, November 15th, 1991. It's another one of those unreleased games. Yeah. This one is a series of platforming video games developed and published by IREM. The titles were developed and published for the arcades, Famicom, Game Boy, Super Famicom, Sony, PlayStation. It's centered around the titular Harry, or Genzo Tamura in the original Japanese, a hammer welding carpenter who protects his hometown of Baranami from the corrupt construction companies that meant to tear it down. Okay. Wow. So there's a little bit of Hammer and Harry. We now go to Gianni Pizzi. Or start with Brandon Bogart. Who do we start off with this time?
Gianni.
We start with Gianni. Okay, thank you very much, Brandon. Okay, Gianni, you're up with Hammer and Harry.
Okay, I haven't heard of this one. I mean, it sounds like something AVGN would play, although I don't think he has.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this one. I honestly don't understand what Hammer and Harry. Not a big fan of the cover art. Kind of one of those like silly, weird games. I don't know. Like I have no idea why this is a game. I mean, the graphics kind of do look cool. I'll tell you, it looks like kind of, I guess, karate or something. I don't see him ever with a hammer.
The hammer's right there in the background. That yellow thing right here is
that's his hammer.
Oh,
his hammer's right there.
Yeah.
So he's getting ready to attack it like this. It's like, yeah. It's like Mario Brothers Hammer, or Donkey Kong.
Oh, the hammers, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's got it ready to go. Boom. Quite difficult, but I think I could have. I made it out, and I was like, "Wow, that's a weird place to put a hammer because it's just like he's ready to strike." Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this one 70.
70, barely passing, but he puts it on the hole as 70. Okay, Scott McVeigh, Hammer and Harry.
Yes, I actually also know this actually isn't, as said before, this is an arcade game here. It's a quirky little arcade game, and it's kind of like kind of like a side scroller, where you use your hammer to swack at bad guys, deflect projectiles, try to sometimes shield. You can try to use special moves also too. It's a few good boss fights here. Should be mentioned that after I remember, from my memory serves me right, the final boss is actually some kind of supposed to be the boss here in a flying chair, but you find out he's kind of like a half cyborg, so it's kind of interesting. The cover art, meh. I mean, they could have done a lot better with this, though. It looks way too angry for me. They don't know that there. Game itself was fun. Cover art, not so much. I had to average it out, give it down to a 75.
75. All right. A middle C for that one. Okay, we go now to Mark Leota with Hammer and Harry.
Okay. What the heck is that guy in the white undershirt beating up?
Not sure, but that is Harry, by the way, in the tank top.
Oh. I don't know what he's beating up, but he looks like he's doing a pretty good job of banging whatever that is. 83.
83. Okay, a low B, but still a very respectable score. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with Hammer and Harry. Like you're stretched there. It's like
No, that's the cover.
Yep.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Whoosh.
It says something about construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why it looks more like Bob the Builder and his crew on steroids.
Yep.
Also, I'm looking at one of them, like at the very, very left. He's about to fall on his little jackhammer. Or he's like, oh, the gameplay looks. I mean, it might look good, but it looks too different from like what it's supposed to be. I don't. I'm sorry, I gotta give it a 68.
Oh, buzzer. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's your opinion on it. You are entitled to it. 68 for Brandon Bogard. Well, I tell you, I've never played this game, and from the looks of it, I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy in real life if there was ever a guy named Harry. I know a couple of Harrys in my time, and yeah, they can be pretty brutalized if they get pissed off enough. You know, you would look like that too if you was probably got something taken away from you and you're defending your city and everything like that. Looks very cartoonish for the box art. I mean, Hammer and Harry, he looks like a ninja. He looks like he's ready to do a karate move. If they took away the hammer, and he looked like one of the guys from, Double Dragon. Like Harry could be from Jimmy and Billy's, repertoire, long lost cousins. For that matter. I just can't see anything about. I've never, like I said, never played the game. Cover art looks a little cheesy, so I'm gonna say 65 and give it a D as well. Oh boy, double buzzer, yeah. All right, we've got our 5 scores. Let's look at the average here. Oh boy.
I think I've got all.
Well, this game survived. It's not going to get buzzed, but it is going up into the C tier. But that's all. That's as high as it's going to go. 72.2, and there it goes, right there. 4 C's, an A, and a B. All right, pretty good. All right, we're getting there. What's the next game with the sorry about that. Is the Harlem Globetrotters. Yes, the Harlem Globetrotters became a Nintendo game, and these guys came out with Game Tech and Softy, March 1991. Let's take a look at the sports video game published by Game Tech for the MS-DOS compatible and the NES. The players control the Harlem Globetrotters basketball team. A Sega Genesis conversion was planned but never released. Unlike most other basketball video games, There is only an exhibition mode in this game where the player can play as either the Harlem Globetrotters or their longtime rivals, the Washington Generals. The player can even pull down the referee's pants or trip the ref when a free throw has been called when playing as the Harlem Globetrotters. So there you have the description of that game. And now we start off with who we got this time? Scott, it's your turn. Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay. Don't
You got a prop? We got a prop?
No, not this time. No.
I thought it was another one. I thought it was a Harlem Globetrotter. I'm like, oh gosh.
It'd be hilarious if it did, but no, I did not. Gosh, like I said, never actually don't even knew this game existed, to be exact here though. And however, I can still say the Globetrotters have been around for many years though, at least a good 50, 60 plus years by now. They're still touring and everything like that as well though. And I think last year we actually had them here in my town, which is kind of interesting though.
Yeah.
Let's see. I even remember back in the 1970s when they had a cartoon based off these guys here. Yeah, and it's kind of weird. But like I said, never played the game. The way the description sounded like kind of sounds like it would have been a 5-on-5 version of the arcade game Arch Rivals, though, from the NES on the from Midway and all those games where you didn't have any rules or anything like that, too, though.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover art, showing 3 of the players pretty well. Kind of simple background. It's a C for me. I'm going to give it 72.
72. Okay. That's still passing grade there. Very good. Okay, Mark Leota, you're up with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay. From what I remember, I think they're like an all-star basketball team or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very much.
I think the Globetrotters came up here to Toronto a few times, from what I remember.
Oh, yeah. When they were, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played this particular video game for the NES, but it seems like it would be pretty fun. That being said, 93.
93. Wow. What a difference of opinion between the two players. 2 tier masters give that 93. Okay, Brandon Bogard, Harlem Globetrotters.
So the game from these images look incredible. They remind me of the later SNES NBA Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kind of chuckling at the front cover. These poses. No, that's the opposite. That's one of them. The other one is like, and that last one.
We've got the pose master today, not the tier master. We have the Brandon the pose master today.
But I still love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Almost a perfect 99.
99. Whoa, so close to that. I ask why one fry short of a Happy Meal? What was the
because I'm not so sure why they would give these weird poses, even though it did make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, 99 is still a fantastic score. And now we go to Gianni Pizzi with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay. I don't think I knew that there was a Harlem Globetrotters game. Obviously, I've heard of Harlem Globetrotters before. But it's actually a pretty good game. Looks like it. Looks almost like Double Dribbles. So
yeah,
look, 95.
95, another A. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I know the Harlem Globetrotters, seen them on TV. I have rented this game at Blockbuster Video. Brought it over to my friend's house in New York, and we played the game. And what does this guy do? My friend decides to continue just to shoot from one side of the court to the other, one side of the court to the other. He didn't want to go in there and play. So if he gave it a hook shot, it would go in from all the way from the end. But if he gave it a regular shot like this, no way. He only scored a total of 15 points in the whole game while I dominated and beat him 63-15. The gameplay is fantastic. It really has the feel of a Harlem's Globetrotter, even though I never went to see them in person. So, yeah, it's just like Double Dribble. I mean, once again, Konami. Game Tech. Once Game Tech comes through with another great game. This has got everything that you would want from a game that's basketball related. I'm going to say 93. Yes. Another A.
Oh yeah.
This has got some bite to it. Let's see what it goes with, averaging about by 5.
I think I've got all.
Well, we barely just squeezed it in, but that is your second A of the night. 90.4. Look at that, gentlemen. Congratulations. You did it again with another 90, another A in the tier. And that's 2 A's in there. Nicely done. Okay, we got that one done. And now, okay, I cannot make out this game one bit here. I was trying to find it in the NES. Anybody can make a note of what that game is? Is that
Hatris.
Hatris?
Hatris. Yeah. I'll explain when we get to my turn.
Hatris, right here. Okay, I didn't see it.
Oh, I see it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Hatris. Put out by Bulletproof Software, July 6, 1990. This is a puzzle video game developed by Alexei Pajitnov and Vladimir Pokahilko of Paragraph International for Bulletproof Software. It plays similar to Tetris in that the game objects falling from the top of the screen must be arranged in specific patterns to gain points to keep the play area clean. The game objects, that is. So it plays in Hatris. Hats of different styles fall from the top of the screen and accumulate at the bottom. To eliminate hats from the play area, 5 hats of identical style must be stacked. Different style hats stacked differently. So it is like Tetris and like Dr. Mario, for that matter. Put out by, of course, the Russian team there. And now we started off with the top of the order again with Mark Leota.
Okay, so that's a chess one that it looks like.
No. Well, it may be looking like the pattern board, the cover art, but it is based on Tetris. So it's stackable hats.
Oh, it's based off Tetris. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Tetris is a pretty classic game. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. How about let's go for an 85.
85. All right. A mid B, still very respectable. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with Hatris.
So,
I had to ask.
oh wait, Scott, I was gonna join you. Darn it.
That's all right. I'll get it back on.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the game, because it's more Tetris, it does sound perfect good enough.
There we go. Now we got our hats and everything. Some of us do.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know what those with the checkers behind the sorcerer. I do think it needs a little more color,
Yeah.
just a little more.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna give it a 92.
92. He gives it an A. Look at this guy. He's on a tear now. Okay, Gianni. Hatris.
Oh my god. This is like an awful version of Tetris. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, it was
Like,
based off the same kind of compromise by the Russian team. So, yeah, you know.
oh, it's the same company, or is that made
Same creator, actually.
creators, yes, of Paragraph International for Bulletproof Software.
Okay. I really I'm gonna have to give it a low on this one. I'm gonna give the lowest grade and give possible a 50.
Oh my goodness, he really buzzed it. Oh wow. Okay. And now for the man who was wearing a hat first before everybody else, Scott McVeigh.
Pay attention, I'm actually wearing two hats. I'm trying to do the stacked hat thing here, so there you go. Yeah, so that's what I did. It was the two stacked hats, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try to emulate Hatris. There you go.
Yeah.
As I was trying to, actually, when I was mentioning, this is actually by the same guy who actually created Tetris. He decided he wanted to branch out here. It's not exactly the best idea he ever did, though. It is a cute game for in execution, well, in idea, but not so great in execution. Cover art wise, nice and simplistic. Got a crown, got a wizard hat, and all that there as well. I can't give it that big of a grade, but I can't give it a fail either, though. So I'm going to give you a good old 75 again.
75. Okay, just to play it safe. Still a C. Okay. I love Tetris. And I probably would love this game if I got my hands on it and played it and seen how the game played. I might have to watch a long play just to kind of get the idea.
Yeah, we got our hats on.
Oh, Mark's the only one who don't have a hat, but that's okay. It don't matter. But but if this is from the same company, or the same group that from the previous Tetris, and they kind of did a Tetris knockoff. Cover art wise disappoints me. I would have loved to seen a little bit more of the actual screenshot of the cover art, and all I see is Mickey Mouse's hat from
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I think you're gonna steal something off of that. I wonder how much this.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Where's
those,
the right kind? Oh, yeah.
exactly right, Goofy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, I a little disappointed on that, and I'm going to barely give it I'm going to give it a 69 and buzz it actually because I just can't see. Whoops! No, I don't want to buzz. I don't want to ding it.
Yeah, see, that's what.
Gameplay.
David Seamus.
I'm telling you, because at this point, I mean, it's like, okay, if you're going to put a knockoff of Tetris, Dr. Mario is about the closest thing you can get to Tetris. This,
I agreed.
this would be something like Crackpots on Atari, where you have to, drop the pots on the spiders, or Kaboom, where you're stacking, where you got something of that sort. But this also could be that game with the Burger Time. We have to make the burgers and then complete them and then drop them on your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We got our 5 scores. Let's go ahead and look at the average.
I think I've got all.
Well, despite the fact that I gave it a D, and I think somebody else buzzed it as well too, it actually goes in the C tier at 74.2. And of course, thank you, Brandon, for the timing on that sound effect. Perfect. Yeah, 74.2. So it goes in the C tier. But I mean, like I said, again, that's what the tier masters want. That's what the tier masters will get. And you have to kind of go by what they say a little bit. They've got their opinions on it. Yep. Okay, gentlemen, we're coming up the final half hour of the program. You know what time it is. It's 10:30, and it's time to decide: do we continue on with the H's because next week when we come back for this, there's not that many H's, and we'll go right into the I's probably by next week if we have the pace that we're looking at here. But it's up to you. Do you want to continue? If we get the Hollywood Squares before the end of the night, I think we can end on that and really take it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I definitely want to try to get this.
Go for it.
Okay, we've got it. The majority rules and says continue on. All right, we go to the next game on the H's, and this one is called Heavy Barrel. Let's put it up there. Okay, this is Heavy Barrel, and let me tell you about Heavy Barrel. Put out by Data East. Okay, very interesting game. March 2nd, 1990. And this one is an overhead run and gun arcade game. Terrorists have seized the underground control complex of a nuclear missile site, and it is up to the player to infiltrate the base and kill the enemy leader. Players begin armed with a gun and unlimited ammunition and a limited supply of grenades. Improved weapons and grenade power-ups are available within the game, either in plain sight or within crates that must be unlocked using keys. Additional crates may contain orbs or one of the 6 pieces of the Heavy Barrel super weapon, like SNK's Akari Warriors, which I was just going to say, the original arcade version featured 8-way rotary joysticks. Mm-hmm. All right, so you've got that, and kind of like an Akari Warriors knockoff. We start this time with Brandon Bogard.
So, Heavy Barrel.
Yep.
So the gameplay for Heavy Barrel sounds perfect. It sounds perfect enough. The front cover looks a little too dark, though. Gameplay, it looks good enough. They don't need much else.
Mm-hmm.
A terrorist game?
Yeah.
Jesus. I'll give it an 83.
83. Okay. That's still a very decent score there, Brandon. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, Johnny. Heavy Barrel.
Okay, have not heard of this one. Okay, kind of looks, I guess, a little bit like Metal Gear. I don't know. I do like, actually, that's the Super Nintendo one. The title screen for the NES one's kind of cool. I do like, actually, the cover art of this one. Kind of gives you kind of what the game, you're going to see in the game. 82.
Oh, all right. Well, Brandon Bogart gets a 1-up because he got the 82, the 83. But it's still very respectable at 82. And now we go to Scott McVeigh with Heavy Barrel.
Yep, here's another arcade game that I remember from my youth, my teenage years. There you go.
Yeah,
this is actually similar to what you said before. What I really love the fact is you can find the pieces to these to the super gun, and when it fired, it would remind me a lot of the famous Golden Gun from the James Bond series, though. But it was very limited in how it could do. And then once it ran out, you had to find all the pieces one more time again. If you were lucky enough and did it just right, you'd probably get maybe 2 or 3 chances at the super weapon. So there you go throughout the whole run.
Yep.
Fun game overall. Again, another great 8-way rotating joystick game. I'm going to give this a 90.
All right. He gives it a 90 and an A. Look at that. Nicely done. And now we go to Mark Leota with Heavy Barrel.
All right, Heavy Barrel. Maybe this is where the phrase "do a barrel roll" originated. I don't know.
Do a barrel roll.
The only thing I think of when I think of the barrel roll is World Games, where they had the barrel roll, or the log roll, or the jumping the barrels. Oh, jumping World Games. Yeah. That's all I can think of when you think of jumping barrels and stuff. But all right, go ahead.
All right. Anyway, don't think I played this one. Let's see. Heavy Barrel. All right, let's give that an 84.
Oh, you're gonna one up the guys again. Wow. All right. Mark one ups Brandon Bogart and Gianni, giving it an 84. Wow. You guys are right there in the average almost there with Scott's 90. Okay, now I cannot say I honestly played this game. I never even heard of it. But judging by the fact that it's an Ikari Warriors knockoff, I probably would not like it because I can't stand Ikari Warriors to this day. So I am really, I'm not going to one up anybody. I'm going down the lowest tier. I'm giving it a 50. I'm buzzing it because I am so sick and tired of any kind of knockoff. If it's got a knockoff with Ikari Warriors, I don't want any part of it. I just did not like the game. I thought it was like, if I wanted one of those games like that, I would do like, something else like Super C and play it out like the one area on Super C where it had the Ikari Warriors kind of level,
Mm-hmm.
I could control it a little bit better, but that's me, Hey, all right, we've got our five scores, so let's look at the average here.
I think I've got all.
Yeah, well, thanks to my 50, that score that game dropped to the C tier at 77.8. It was coming up a heavy B there if I would have gave it a higher score, but it dropped down to a C because of the 50 grade. All right. But that's the way it goes sometimes. If you feel that way, and I know I did, can't help that. All right. Now we go to a game that I saw on Nintendo Power. What do you call it?
The game show.
The game show. Heavy Shredding. This game, everybody wanted this game for some reason. It was put out by Parker Brothers Activision and Imagineering. June of 1990. You are a snowboarding video game that was released for the Nintendo, and it was released in Europe with the title Snowboard Challenge. There are 3 mountains that the player must overcome in order to complete the game. As the player descends the mountain, the terrain becomes more and more difficult to navigate. There are 3 degrees of difficulty on each of the mountains. The first is novice, marked by a circle. The second is intermediate, marked by a square. And the third is expert, marked by a diamond. Starts out with 4 lives. There are 5 different events and a total of 18 levels of play. So in order to progress to the next event, the player must first successfully complete the event before it. And if the player fails or runs out of time, a life is taken away. After completing a trail, the player is rewarded with a bonus life. And if the player is able to complete all the trails and events, they will have completed the game. All right. We go to Gianni Pizzi to start off with Heavy Shredding.
Okay. Another one I haven't heard of. Okay, not really what I was expecting with a snowboarding game. I was not expecting to be a snowboarding game. The name Heavy Shredding. I don't know why, but probably because I don't know much about snowboarding. Kind of like the cover art. Actually, not really as much. I don't know why. Give this one 64.
Ooh, 64. He buzzes it. Okay. Okay, Scott, you're up with Heavy Shredding.
Yep, snowboarding. Whoopee. Sorry, I
know that was going it was going south on that one.
Yeah, you're not going to get a great review. Like I said, I'm even looking at graphics for this. This is pretty plain looking graphics. They're pretty plain looking. So for the most part. Maybe there's a hint of a story, but not too much. If it wasn't for the cool looking guy, on the snowboard, this game would have tanked horribly when it came out. Probably the only reason why all those kids on Nintendo Power wanted to get this game, probably because of the guy on the snowboard. That probably been what they thought. Oh, it's so rad and cool looking.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to give this another low score. I'm sorry. This is a 50 mark for me.
50. Oh, he buzzes it bad. Okay. So we got a D and an F so far. Now we go to Mark Leota with Heavy Shredding.
Well, winter is a perfect time for a snowboarding game like this.
And up in Canada, there's plenty of snowboarding going on. The Mounties are even doing it on their days off, probably.
I don't know.
Those Canadian Mounties, man, you can't get away from them.
Mhm.
Riding those horsies.
Whoa, horsey. Well, anyway, getting back to the matter at hand here, 81 for this one.
Oh, an 81. Okay, a low B, but it's interesting. Okay. Now we go to Brandon Bogard with
So one of the images of the gameplay has our character going over a truck on a row.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, too.
We're talking about shredding. Like what? Right? Why is there a road and a truck? Also, on another image, I don't know if the bridge is icy or snowy or something.
Yeah.
mhm.
But it doesn't look too bad. That graphics actually look pretty cool in the gameplay. I'm gonna give it 86.
86. Ooh. Matter of opinions there from the tier masters themselves. Okay. A snowboarding game. I've never played it. I've heard of it because, like I said before, Nintendo Power, the TV show, if you watched it or have seen it on YouTube, and like you said, every kid wanted this game when they were going on the obstacle, trying to grab all the games. Heavy Shredding was one of those games that they basically just piddled it to death, Now, if I want to play a snowboarding game, I will go back to my original Atari game of skiing from the Activision and play that all day. Okay. Snowboarding does not excite me one bit. The only thing saving this is the cover art. And the guy looks like, why does he have a pink snowboard? Is it because there's so much blue in the background that he has to have a pink snowboard? I don't know. That looks like a hoverboard from Back to the Future Part 2, doesn't it?
That does look so similar. I know. Yeah.
Right? I mean, that thing wound up showing up at that point in time. Yeah, that would have definitely gotten a lot of copyright issues from the movie itself.
Yeah.
But again, I never played the game, and I probably would not enjoy it because I just don't like any snowboarding game except skiing. But in that case, I'd go back to the Activision game. So I'm going to give it a 58. Ooh, a 58. We buzz it. Double buzzer. All right, let's see what we got for the average here.
I think I've got all.
Well, unfortunately, gentlemen, that's your first D of the night, and you got it 67.8. So the D gets the up there. Oh. Yep. Nah, we don't give it a losing horn, though, but we do give it a buzzer, a buzz horn. So that's 67.8. All right, we're up to the next game here, and it's something to do with high speed. Yep, let's look at it. Something, of course, on that game is, of course, High Speed. It's the name of the game is High Speed. Okay, that's pretty good. World's #1 pinball machine. Oh, it's a pinball game. Put out by Tradewest and Rare, July 1991, unreleased. It's a pinball simulation video game and employs the game engine that Rare previously developed for Pinbot in 1999. Adapted the game from the pinball machine High Speed, which was designed by Steve Ritchie and released by Williams Electronics in 1986. The following year, Williams Electronics was renamed WMS Industries prior to its initial public offering. Okay, the gameplay is similar to Pinbot. The NES version of High Speed plays identical to the pinball machine of the same name, but with a few new elements added in, such as collecting safes and helicopters that allow the player to play bonus levels where lots more points can be scored. The player can also collect money bags of the same name and has to avoid enemies that will destroy the ball or the flippers, such as bombs and tumbleweeds. All right, so it's actually a pinball game. Very interesting. We start this time with, I think it's Scott McVeigh, right?
That's right.
Scott, you're up.
Yeah, actually, I remember playing this beautiful title here, and actually, it's a pretty good recreation of the original high-speed pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got good music to go with it as well. The physics work pretty darn good for an NES title. I love all the extra features they put into it as well. This is a fun title, and just like the Pinbot, which we'll get to in about a few months of time here at the rate we're going.
Yeah.
It's really fun here, actually. And since I'm a big pinball fanatic, and that's my big thing, I'm going to have to give this. I can't give it the fullest, but I will give you a 96.
96, okay. And why is that you can't give it the fullest?
Well, like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but it's still darn good, though, as well, though.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Still got high A. Very good. Now we go back up to Mark Leota for high speed, the #1 pinball machine.
Pinball's always fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. High speed. Yeah, those pinball machines really are high speeds, aren't they?
I thought it was a racing game when I first looked at it, but no, it's a pinball machine. Simulated pinball machine.
Yeah. Well, pinball's always pretty cool. Let's give this one a 79.
79. A little bit of a difference of opinion there, but still a passing grade. Okay, Brandon Bogard, you're up with high speed pinball simulation.
So I'm looking at both covers, and it looks terrific. Actually, it looks very terrific. There's different types of styles of pinballs.
Pinball.
The image. There's 3 images that make it very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yeah. I'm glad you made that. Come on. I need to give it something good. Come on.
More.
You trying to watch the video, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. I'm gonna give it the full 100.
Oh!
Like
There you go.
I want to get just a little prepared.
I tell you what, that cash register sound, man, oh man. What a signal. I love it. All right, Gianni, you are up and you look a little tired there, my friend.
A little bit, yeah. I'll make it through definitely this one next two.
Oh,
so.
these next 2. Okay, all
Oh
right.
yeah, 3, but we'll make it.
We got it. We got 13 minutes left.
Oh yeah, we got time.
Yep.
So yeah, I haven't heard of this one. Only pinball game I have heard of is the pinball.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it car pinball? I mean, there's definitely a lot going on. I mean, the other pinball game I've heard of, it's kind of like a basic, no really theme. This one, I kind of like a lot. I can't find much of the actual, well, actually, I see some, but I see a lot of the cover art, which is kind of, I guess, complex, but for a pinball game, a lot going on, which is kind of cool. So not necessarily bad, but I can't find. Actually, I do see a picture now. For some reason, from the quality of the video I'm seeing, didn't look too much of an NES game, but it looks like kind of older quality. There's too much gray in the machine border. I feel like they could have definitely used too much. Even like the color with the scoreboard. I mean, that's kind of I guess a downside, but otherwise, kind of looks like a game. Looks like a pinball game. So 90.
90. All right, you got an A on it, though. That's very good. Nicely done. Okay. Pinball machines are like hand and glove. It's like but I haven't played this one. Now, if I saw it in a pinball arcade machine, I probably would have went to it and kind of, the only true pinball game that I played on NES was pinball itself. And of course, there were Atari pinball, which was for the Atari. I probably would have loved this one to see it on NES. I might have to look at a long play view of it. But any pinball machine is going to be tops in my book. I'm going with the full 100 as well, too. Yeah, there we go. It's a double up on that one. Yeah, I can double up right there. Yep. All right, we've got our 5 scores. Let's look at the average.
I think I've got all.
Oh, great job, guys. This one's going in the A's. It's a 93. Boom shakalaka. There you have it right there. The third A of the night. And you guys, whoops, if I can yeah. There it is. Bless you. All right. 93 even. Good stuff. Okay, we've got 2 more games to look at, and we'll call it a night here. And these are going to be 2 of the best games I think we've kind of looked up in the H's here. The first one is, hey, Gianni, it's a Zapper Gun game.
It is Hogan's Alley.
I love this one.
Yeah. We all are familiar with this one, but let me give you the lowdown breakdown again on this one. This is by Nintendo, and it was out in June 12th, 1984. And it was a light gun shooter video game. And it was released for the family computer in 84. Then the Nintendo VS system, the regular system, was the first one. It was one of the first hit video games to use the light gun as an input device, along with Duck Hunt. So this was the second game after Duck Hunt. The game presents players with cardboard cutouts of gangsters and innocent civilians. The player must shoot the gangs and spare the innocent people. It was a major arcade hit in the United States and Europe. And in real life, Hogan's Alley was a shooting range on the grounds of the Special Police School at Camp Perry, a training facility for the National Guard of the United States. So you guys know how to play this game. I'm not going to give you any more gameplay information on it. You know it. If you want to and you critique it, definitely. This time we start with, are we going to the top of the list again, right? Yeah. Top of the list, and it goes to Mark Leota.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
One that I have not played, I don't think.
You never played Hogan's Alley?
Nope.
Wow.
And I don't think it would be on the NES online app either because of the fact that it uses the Zapper.
Oh, okay.
But, maybe it might be worth a shot. I mean, I'd have to get a copy of the game first.
Yeah.
81.
81. Okay. Very good. Now we go to Brandon Bogard. Hogan's Alley.
So it does look like a perfect game for the light gun. It doesn't sound suitable for children exactly. Also, I'm looking at one of the images. I can't understand like the 3 different characters. We have one that's a policeman, one that's that's like a hot lady, and the other one that's on the left looks more like South Park police officer. So I guess I'll just give it a passing 77.
77. Okay. Johnny, we've got Hogan's Alley here.
That's right. I mean, obviously, AVGN looked at it with the Zapper.
Yep.
You gotta use your hands. It's like a baby's toy.
That's Wow Gunman.
Oh, yeah, this one, the
Yeah, which is the same kind of basics. Yeah, with the light gun and the arcade style, and of course in Back to the Future Part 3. Yeah.
I have heard of this game. Never really played it. I mean, can't really play much with the Zapper. It doesn't really work anymore. But
Yeah.
definitely, I guess one of the most common games you think of with the Zapper is, of course, Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley. So
Mm-hmm.
give it 100.
100. Oh, there you go. $100. $100. 100 points there for Johnny, a perfect score. And now we go to the man who has probably played this game
Oh yeah,
eyes closed. Hogan's
almost. Yeah, yeah. This is the easiest thing I'm going to be able to say. First of all, this is probably one of the most fun shooting gallery style games you're going to find here. It's a great way to police simulate. There are officially 6 characters to shoot, to either shoot or avoid, and it's pretty neat. It's like different setups. Even the bonus round is fun to do with the little can shooting as well. Just like Gianni says, it's God tier. It's 100.
There you go. We've doubled it up, and he gets it. Add another 100 points there. Yep. Okay. Well, I tell you, just like Scott and Gianni, basically, I played Hogan's Alley. I love the little bonus round with the can. And see, Scott, I think you were the only one who brought up the thing about the little can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because you got to get it on the top tier, and you have to keep the can in motion. And there was 3 levels, and there was a 5,000 pointer, an 800, an 800, and a 300.
Actually, you can also, and you can even get 100 points if you can land it on that little ledge there that's hanging close to the 5,000 ledge.
Yeah,
That
there you
little,
go.
outcrop.
See, it was all skill in that game.
It was.
And of course, the cover art, the guy looks like a Dick Tracy character, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's actually one of the enemies you shoot at. So there you go.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that reminds me of a Dick Tracy character, like Pruneface's brother, or looks like Rat Face, the rat,
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Of course, what's kind of funny is one of the other bad guys actually does look like he could have belonged in the Dick Tracy with the machine gun aimed right at you as well, though. So there you go.
Exactly, too. You're right about that. But Pruneface or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I give it 100 as well too, because I've played this game so many times and I love it, every bit of it. Yep, there it is, perfection. 300 out of the group. That's a good score there. This should be definitely good. Let's look it up. Let's average it out. Oh yeah.
I think I've got all.
All right, guess what, guys? This one's going all the way up. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It's going into the A tier. 91.6. There it is.
2 in a row.
In a row, but overall, 4 games in the night. Okay. With about 3 minutes left, let's get to the final game of the night that we're going to be looking at, because we'll pick up with the Home Alone series next week. And definitely, here's our game show game of the night, the ever popular Hollywood Squares. Oh, yes. Great game by Game Tech, put out September 1989. Of course, multiple platform puzzle game based on the television show of the same name, hosted by John Davidson. Not the Peter Marshall version, but definitely the set is the new Hollywood Squares. So you had Shadow Stevens and all that. But of course, the gameplay is either you have to agree or disagree. You know how this game is played. Very similar, but the characters were all one-word names, so you really there were no celebrities in the game, I guess, because
They've had to get licensing rights for all of them, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so generically it was, definitely. Okay, we start with Brandon Bogart on this one.
My number 9 favorite game show.
Hollywood Squares, yes.
So yeah, the graphics, all I can really say is the graphics look just enough for the game it's supposed to be. So I'm going to give it a 91.
91, very good. Okay, we got a 91 there. Now we go to Gianni Pizzi with Hollywood Squares, another game show fanatic. Turn your mic on, buddy.
Whoops.
And still can't turn his mic on. He's trying. He's trying. You're still muted.
There we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Yay.
All right, now he's got
All
voice.
right. Yeah. So I have played this game. I mean, it's actually one of the good game show games on the NES. There were a lot
Game
of
Tech is a fantastic company for game show games. You know.
exactly. They make the best ones.
Yep.
I mean, this one is pretty much very similar to the show. You can hear the theme music.
Yeah, for an 8-bit. Yeah.
Yeah, gameplay is similar. I think bonus
Yep.
in there.
Yep. But
I'm
John
gonna give
Davidson,
it-
he looks like a Weedo. He looks like a weenie in the host.
Oh yeah. 90.
90. Oh, look at that. Brandon Bogart. Oh, one up some. Look at that. That's still a respectable score at 90. Okay, now we go to Scott McVeigh with Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, this was a fun one. This was actually fun to play here. I love that they actually programmed in even jokes for the so-called celebrities to say before they give the actual answers. So it just feels
right.
similar to that to the real game show itself, though.
Yep.
The only thing I had to say that's one thing that's kind of weird is the goofy looking design for John Davidson, make it look but there we go. But it's
He's
still
like a generic Ray Combs,
kind of, yeah. But this game is still awesome. It's fun, it's entertaining, it'll keep you going if you're a big fan of the original show, you're gonna love this. 90 no, better yet, full 100.
400. There you go. He got it. That's it. Yep. What can you say, right?
Yeah.
Mark Leota, you were up with Hollywood Squares.
Well, not much that needs to be said about this one. Perfect 100.
There it is. From the man from Canada, gives it 100. He doubles up on it. And a ding, 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 ding. Yep.
Although, from what I do recall, the bonus round they had on this, I think this was the first version of H2 that actually had a bonus round, from what I remember.
Yeah.
It
They
was
had it where the key went in, and then you just press the B button, and then if it was right, you got the car. And you
It
got the car.
It wasn't easy though. It was not
No,
easy.
it was not easy.
Nope,
Right about
never was.
You got to choose to start the car. You got to choose your key. The only thing I can't stand is the fact that if that's what John Davidson looked like in 8-bit form, we're in deep trouble. I mean, come on, really, guys. But I'm telling you, gameplay similar to the 86-90 version of Hollywood Squares. There was no Shadow Stevens. There was no Joan Rivers. There was no Gary Marshall. There was no Jim J. Bullock, unfortunately. I got to give it a 99 and not 100 because of that, just those little things of that sort. Yeah, I would have gave it 100 for everything else, but if you didn't get the celebrities, why is it even called Hollywood Squares for that? But you're right, Mark. The huge copyrights and how much they would have had to pay out to get the licensing for those celebrities at that time.
And royalties too. Let's not forget royalties.
That's
Very
right.
true, yeah.
They would have got a lot on those. So let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Hands down. Hands down. This is a bitch. Here we go. Yeah, this is like I said, I knew we were going out on a bang with these last two games, and sure enough, Hollywood Squares goes all the way up to the A's tier. A big 96. That is your fifth A of the night. Congratulations, guys.
We're good.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. There it is. Okay. We are. Yes. And we're going to shut down this whole thing here. Definitely, as they say. All right. That does it for tonight's version, or episode 21 comes to a close. Great job, guys. You did it Fantastic. Next week on the program, we start the continuation of the H's with Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Uh-huh. And we just remember we all talked about Home Alone on the Christmas edition. Of course,
That's right, yeah.
but
Oh.
I mean, so we should have done it at that time frame, but it didn't happen that way.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but that would have been great. Scott, did you actually watch that episode?
I have not yet. No. I
Oh,
have
you
not.
got to watch it. You have to watch it
Okay.
because we really, I mean, it was down to a lot of great sound effects. I had found a lot of them there. 20.
Nice.
Okay, I'm saving this right now as we speak so that it's
And I
saved.
hope we get some of those Home Alone sound effects back just for these two.
Thank you very much. Yes, please do remind me. And if it's not, Brandon, you can start adding sound effects to your repertoire because, you have that as well. So NES Games episode 21 is saved in the tiers. Gentlemen, it's been fun. We went in fact, we're 5 minutes overtime, but that's okay because that's life. And sometimes, you're going to have things like that go over. I'll see you all next week as ever and get some rest. And definitely do check out DMS 3000 News tomorrow because we've got some more fantastic articles for you. And Scott, we're going to continue working on that secret project.
We will.
We have a show coming up for you guys on Saturday night starting March 2nd. Me and Scott are going to be we've been working on it. We'll get it to you. And we'll probably announce it on, let's see, we would have to announce it on the final week of February, Scott, I guess.
Yeah, might be a good idea. So we'll just wait about 2 more weeks, give it about a week and a half, give or take.
Yeah, pretty much. But you'll love the show, and one of the things I can tell you is it's a variety program. So we'd like to have some other people on, some guests to kind of come in. So if you guys want to come in, and we can have a reunion show,
What?
show that would
We're
be
not even canceled.
get out of here. We're gonna cancel the show. The ratings are gonna go down. There it goes. These guys broke the show, Scott.
It's going down.
Enough.
Okay, yeah. First episode, you're gonna have 69 people watching.
Well, it's a Saturday night show, so I hopefully you guys be able to take some time out of your busy schedule to join us on that particular one of those shows in the weeks. That'd be great. But anyways, again, for Mark Leota, Brandon Bogard, Scott McVeigh, Gianni Pizzi, I am Jason DeCanio, thanking you once again for a fantastic show. These guys are like bread and butter here, man, hand in glove. I'm so grateful to them that they come out and do this every night, every week. And like I said, hopefully next year on the awards we'll win one for a change because we're a fivesome right now because of Scott McVeigh. So there you go. We should be able to get some awards for our great show next year. Let's keep the support going, guys. Good night from Wipe Those Tears.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Gary Dawson Network for more great content like this one.